Did you know that in 2024, governments still regulate what consenting adults can do in their bedroom? What the hell? Stick with me and we'll discuss. Hello, all you beautiful people. Worlds Okayest Lawyer here. Kind of shocked that this is still a thing. Today, we are going to discuss 25 laws regulating sex amongst their citizenry. And we are also going to discuss 2 fake laws that you will find on the internet. But they're just not true. There are quite a few strange sexual laws around the world reflecting cultural, religious, and historical influences. Here are some of the more unusual ones. Starting in Samoa. In Samoa, it is considered a crime for a husband to forget his wife's birthday. While not strictly a sexual law, it's tied to marital relationships and could land you in legal trouble. In Hong Kong, a wife can legally kill her cheating husband. Yes, you heard that right. Can legally kill her cheating husband. So husbands, if you're a cheater, make sure she's not going to jiu-jitsu where she can just choke your ass out and just keep holding on until you pass away. But because she must actually do this with her bare hands. Whew, that's rough. The husband's mistress, however, can be killed in any manner. So she can run you over the car, shoot you, stab you, do one of those Yakuza kind of deals, even though Yakuza is Japan. I do know this. I'm just watching a Japanese show right now. So don't go cheating on your wife in Hong Kong. In Lebanon, men are legally allowed to have sex with animals, but the animals must be female. Having sex with a male animal is punishable by death. So testicles on an animal, that's a no-go zone. No testicles on an animal, plow away, I guess, if you're in Lebanon. In some areas of Italy, such as the town of Eboli, kissing in a moving vehicle can lead to a fine. Public displays of affection are heavily regulated in some regions, and this doesn't make any sense to me. If you're in Italy, everybody kisses one another when they greet each other. So if I was to get into a car, do the normal Italian greeting where you kiss on both sides of the cheek, am I going to jail if I get caught by the popo? Weird. In Bahrain, male doctors legally are not allowed to examine a woman's genitals directly. They are only permitted to look at the reflection of the genitals in a mirror during examinations. And this totally makes sense because Bahrain is a Muslim country and they have strict moral codes when it comes to regulating how men and women are to act amongst each other, including sexuality. In Dubai, it is illegal for an unmarried couple to live together or even share a hotel room. If caught, they could face fines, imprisonment, or deportation. Again, totally makes sense. Muslim country. Don't be going to a Muslim country acting like you're in Europe or at the beach. You're going to get into a lot of trouble. In Bolivia, it is illegal for a man to have sex with a mother and her daughter at the same time. Sorry, folks in Bolivia. That sexual fantasy is in the trash. Because if you get caught, you could land into some hot water, as this law specifically targets men and emphasizes the protection of family dignity. In Eswatini, Swaziland, the traditional practice of umshwasho imposes a ban on sexual relations for young women. Virginity testing is often used to enforce this, and breaking the law can lead to fines or public shaming. Until 2007, oral sex was illegal in Singapore unless it was followed by vaginal intercourse. Again, very sad. This law was part of a broader sodomy law that was eventually repealed. Russia has a law that bans gay propaganda, and that is gay propaganda, making it illegal to distribute information or perform acts that could be seen as promoting homosexuality to minors. This law has led to widespread discrimination against the LGBTQ+ community. So if you're LGBTQ+, you may not want to go to Russia. On Norfolk Island, Australia, it's illegal to be nude in your own home if someone else can see you. I mean, there's always looking away. But this law reflects the island's conservative values. We're going to stay in Australia, but moving to the state of Victoria. It's illegal to ask someone to engage in sexual activity in public, which includes proposing a one-night stand. This law is aimed at maintaining public decency. So if you're in Victoria, may not be a whole lot of good times at the club on that Friday night. In Guam, there was a strange tradition, though not a formal law, where men were paid to deflower virgins before they got married. This practice was tied to a belief that a woman should not be a virgin on her wedding night. The practice has been widely condemned and is no longer prevalent. No longer prevalent means it probably still happens in some areas. In New Zealand, it's illegal for taxi drivers to allow any part of their body to stick out of their vehicle. This law is not specifically sexual, but has been interpreted to mean that taxi drivers should not engage in any sexual activity while on duty. So if you think about it, you're going to Pound Town, there is a chance that your leg could stick out the window. That is what the sexuality aspect of it is. In Nepal, public displays of affection are generally frowned upon and can result in legal trouble. Kissing in public is considered indecent behavior and can lead to fines or imprisonment. It's very sad. In Rome, Italy, it's illegal to make love to someone else in the presence of a third person unless that third person is a cat. This law reflects old superstitions about cats being sacred and able to ward off evil spirits. So I guess when my cat stares at me doing the deed, it's warding off evil spirits. South Korea has very strict laws against pornography. It is illegal to produce, distribute, or consume pornographic material. The government monitors internet use and can prosecute individuals who violate these laws. And this is wholly different from Japan, where pornography is kind of a huge deal. There was even a baseball player for the New York Mets that used to brag about how large his collection of pornographic videos were. In Ontario, Canada, it's illegal for strip clubs to serve alcohol if full nudity is allowed. This law is designed to prevent excessive rowdiness in strip clubs. I'm not sure what excessive rowdiness means in a strip club, but I'm assuming it's more than just a bunch of guys sitting around with erections. But in my state of Texas, we actually have the same law. Now, moving to the United States. In some parts of Pennsylvania, it was illegal for an unmarried couple to live together. Though these cohabitation laws are rarely enforced, they technically still exist. They had laws on the books for common law marriage until 2005 to attempt to get around this ideal. In Tremonton, Utah, it is illegal for a woman to have sex with a man while riding in an ambulance. If caught, the woman can be charged with a misdemeanor and her name might be published in the local newspaper. I guess the guy just gets high fives? I think we can all figure out this law was created after a couple was caught. But again, they shamed her, and I guess they shook his hand. Adultery is still technically a criminal offense in Massachusetts, though it is rarely prosecuted. The law can result in fines or even jail time, though it is more than often used in divorce proceedings. However, adultery is still a crime in the military, for which it is not uncommon that a soldier goes through administrative separation or courts-martial as an additional charge. In the city of Ottumwa, Iowa, it is illegal for a man with a mustache to kiss a woman in public. So all you guys with the cool, curly cues, or you're in those mustache competitions, or you just are unlike me and just look dope in a mustache, don't go kissing girls in Ottumwa. This law is likely an old-fashioned public decency law that reflects earlier societal norms. I'm not sure what those societal norms were, but I do notice that a lot of Mormons in depictions of paintings, they're not wearing mustaches, so it just may be part of the Mormon tradition. In the city of Spokane, Washington, it's illegal to have sex in any position other than missionary. This law is outdated and not enforced, and it's still technically on the books. Folks in Washington are missing out on some more fun ways, because missionary ain't the only way to go. In Oklahoma, it was technically illegal to engage in oral sex until the law changed in 2016. The law was largely unenforced, but was part of the state's broader sodomy laws. And I'm going to touch on what changed in 2016. In Minnesota, it is illegal for a man to sleep naked in the same room as a woman unless they are married. Sad days. Now, I promised you 2 fake laws you may find in searching the internet. Staying in the United States in Florida, came across something stating it's illegal for a woman to show her breasts while lying down. Florida's law actually says that showing of the female breast with less than a fully opaque covering of any portion thereof below the top of the nipple, in other words, bra, sports bra, bathing suit tops, are required in Florida. Men, you're not safe. Not only must we be covered, but we cannot be walking around with an erection or we could get arrested. Moving to Indonesia, you may hear or learn that the punishment for masturbation is decapitation, but this just isn't true. Can you even imagine? A lot of us would lose our heads every day. Huh? So this is a fake sexual law you may find on the internet, so don't believe everything you read. Now, you may have noticed that I did not discuss a whole lot of sodomy laws in the United States besides oral sex. The reasoning is those laws were overturned by Lawrence v. Texas. So story time. No shit, there these two consenting guys were in the midst of having sex. The folks in the next hotel room called the cops claiming there was disturbance in the next room. The cops kicked in the door and saw that Lawrence was pleasuring a fellow friend. Got arrested and convicted, went all the way to the Supreme Court, where they said to stay out of consenting adults' bedrooms, and I could not agree more. If only Major League Baseball would view it this way when it comes to Trevor Bauer and the finding that his acts and the claim against him were all consensual, and yet he's still not playing Major League Baseball right now. These laws, including the fake ones, showcase the often bizarre and archaic legal frameworks that have developed around sexual behavior in different societies. While many of these laws are outdated and not actively enforced, they remain on the books as remnants of past attitudes and beliefs. Like what I had to say? Please be sure to like, follow, subscribe, and leave a review. I cannot thank you enough for listening to what my world's okayest opinions and snarkiness are. Lastly, it costs $0 to be kind. It's the best money that you will ever spend. Until next time, beautiful people, peace.